Hello everyone and welcome to Victoria's Cantina. Today we're having a look at the NECA Toys R Us exclusive DC Comics Batman Classic TV Series action figure. This is a 7-inch scale figure, one that I have been after for a very long time, and I'm very happy to finally have it. Had to get it on eBay, had to pay a little bit of a premium, but it's finally here and I'm very excited about that. So as we saw with the NECA Toys R Us exclusive, the Dark Knight Joker, this has a rectangular box. It's got a window so you can see inside of the figure, and the box is decorated in theme with the Batman Classic TV series, which is really cool. The side of the box gives you a look at Batman scaling the wall along with Robin. Opposite side has the exact same graphic. And at the back, we have a look at the NECA quarter scale Batman that this figure is based off of. In fact, they took the larger quarter scale figure and essentially shrunk it down to 7 inches. And that's what we're seeing here. And that's the big figure right there. And I think that this looks very cool. Really like the thematic look to this. Got the bat signal shining in the sky. That figure looks absolutely astonishing. And you see Batman there in his walkie-talkie. And then all the little kapow and bam, pow, bonk along the packaging. There's the Batmobile and images of prototype shown. Final product may vary. Really like the look of the cape on that one, which looks pretty film accurate. Unfortunately, the figure isn't going to look like that. It's not going to have a sheen to it in that same fashion. And then the box here at the top, you get a look there at Batman. And then here at the bottom, ages 14 and up. There's your SKU. And all right, let's go ahead and crank this out of the box and see what it's like. All right, you guys, as usual, NECA did a stunning job on the aesthetics of this figure. As you can see, it just looks so good. Proportions are very much accurate, in my view, to what Adam West looked like in the Batman Classic TV series. Coloration looks really good, very much on par with what we see in the TV show. The cape is very nice. It's pretty big and has a very nice metallic sheen to it. He has quite a bit of articulation and comes with some nice accessories. Go ahead and give you a close-up of this guy. And this looks really good. It's kind of hard to see the eyes because of the way that the mask is done, but you can see that the mask is, it's a separate piece that's glued over the head. So very interesting. I mean, that's kind of a cool thing. It makes it a little more realistic, I guess. But it is kind of hard to see the eyes. In fact, they do look a little bit cross-eyed. Like if you look at his left eye, it looks kind of like it's looking inward. Whereas the other one, I don't know where it's looking. It's really hard to see it, but yeah, it's in there. If you look at it from a distance, it's quite good. But when you look at it up close, that just looks a little bit strange because of the eyes. The rest of the face, though, is very nice. It's sculpted very well. Nice shadowing done to his cheeks, just to make his cheekbones a little more pronounced. The lips look really good, very nice flesh tone to the figure. The rest of the mask is very nice. You can see that it's got those light blue outlinings on it for the eyebrows, and then at the nose. The eyebrows aren't completely even. You can see the left one's a little bit higher. And then the rest of the mask is quite nice. It also has a little bit of a sheen to it as well. And I just think that looks very good. Very nice sculpted detail on here. Look at the neck. That's awesome detail. Bat emblem looks really good. You can see that there's some very nice texturing going on to his costume. And that's really cool. Very nice paint. It looks a little bit weathered. A little bit of a wash to it just to bring out some of that detail. The belt looks incredible. It's got a very metallic buckle to it and very vibrant yellow for the rest of the belt. Look at the wrinkling here on his shorts. Very nice. And you also get that metallic sheen there as well as on the gloves on both of them. You can see that he's got the little blade guards right there. And then he's got the metallic sort of sheen as well on the boots. And the legs also are very nicely sculpted. Very good muscle definition. Even though he's really not muscular, you can still see where his muscles would be at. Knees look pretty nice. They're pretty well concealed as far as those joints go. You can see them more from the back though. Here's the figure from the back. And he's even got a little bit of a shape there on his bottom, interestingly. There's his back. And then again, the boots, pretty nicely done. They have black soles on bottom, some peg holes. And I'm really liking what I'm seeing. The cape, like I mentioned, is a little bit big. I don't think it was quite this big in the TV show. And the way that it drapes over him, it's a little bit stiff. It's kind of like if you've ever wrapped a GIF using ribbon, like a present or something. It's kind of like that. It's very like starchy. So I'd prefer if it were a little bit more loose, so it wouldn't, be so pronounced, because in the show it wasn't quite this pronounced. It does look good though. It's got a very nice metallic sheen to it, like it did in the TV show, but to a lesser extent. The bottom of it has a little bit of a sheen as well, but not quite as much as the top part of the cape there on that side. As far as articulation goes, I really want to baby this because NECA figures tend to be very finicky. They can break. The joints just are very stiff a lot of the time, which isn't good. For that reason, I'm going to show you the articulation, but I'm going to do it very gently. So it seems like he's got a ball joint here at the head. You don't get a whole lot of up and down, but you do get side to side. Again, it is very stiff. You get some tilt to it too. For the shoulders, you can raise them. It seems like the right shoulder on mine's going up a little bit more. I think it should go up some more than that, but again, I'm trying to baby this. I don't want it to break. And you can move them forward like that. He's got a ball hinging at both of the elbows, and you can rotate them and bend them inward. He's got bends and swivels at both of the wrists. You get a swivel here at the waist, and it can kind of go down a little bit, so it's a little bit more than a swivel, but for all intents and purposes, it's just a swivel because you can only really go side to side. He's got a bit of a bat split. Doesn't go very far. In fact, I'm not going to really mess with it because as you'll see in my Superman review, there's a reason I'm not going to mess with that. For the knees, you can bend them back. The right one seems to go back just a little bit more than the left one. And then he's got rocker swivels at both of the ankles, which is very nice for getting him to stand. So all in all, it seems like he's got decent articulation. The way that they integrated it makes it so that you don't really see those joints. They're not all that obvious, which I really do like, but they are very, very stiff. It just seems like they're painted tight from the factory, which is something NECA really needs to work on because especially if you're having a hard time finding these in stores and you have to get them through the secondary market like me, you don't want to spend a lot of money on a figure and then have it break like that. That's just really, really pitiful. So Batman does come with some accessories. You get 2 interchangeable hands. The first one right here is his right hand, which looks like a trigger hand. The left one is just an open hand. I'm not sure you could fit anything in there. And then he also has his Batarang, and it's a pretty good size Batarang, actually. A little bit of a metallic sheen to it as well. It actually kind of matches my fingernails a little bit. And I think that looks really good. And then he's also got this little, looks like a walkie-talkie or a little bat radio of sorts. So that's a very nice little touch that they included that in here. No shark repellent, unfortunately. All right, you guys know that I hate taking off hands from figures, but you know what? I want him to hold one of his accessories. So the only way we're going to get that to happen is if we pull off one of the hands. Please don't break, Batman. This is really, really tight. Oh. And it looks like I was successful. Yay. Go ahead and put in the other hand so that he can grip. And as you might imagine, this is a very tight fit. Ooh, we got it. Yay, celebrate. So it looks like he can hold the Batarang, which is great. Unfortunately, though, he's not going to hold the radio in that hand. It's just not going to happen. So what I'm going to have to do I want to risk it, is put the left hand on there too. The left hand, as you can see, will hold the radio just fine. And I really like the radio, so I kind of want to do that. But should I do it? Is it going to break if I do it? It's a gamble, you guys. It might break, it might not. But you know what? I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for it. And again, success. Oh, this is so terrible. And it's in. Booyah. So he can hold the radio, and he just doesn't hold it up to his face. So it's like, all right, was that kind of a waste of time getting that hand in there? I don't know. As you can see, just because of the way it's articulated, maybe if he had a double bend at the elbow, he could do it, but that's about as good as you're going to get it, unfortunately. Which kind of sucks. I was hoping that I was going to be able to do like a pose where he's holding it up to his head, but unfortunately it's just not going to happen. All right, you guys, it's comparison time. Let's go ahead and compare the NECA 7-inch scale Batman Classic TV series with the Mattel 6-inch scale Batman Classic TV series figure. As you can see, the NECA one is a lot more lifelike and a lot more realistic looking than the Mattel version, which is to be expected. I mean, Mattel makes kids' toys, and although I really think they did a fantastic job on their Batman Classic TV series range of figures, there's obviously no comparison here. You can't compare that to the NECA. That being said, I still am not 100% feeling the cape on the NECA Batman. I think it needs to be a little bit more streamlined and, a little bit more fitted to the figure. As you can see, both of them also have their Batarangs. Of course, the NECA one has a much larger Batarang.
Did you hear that? She said my Batarang's bigger than yours.
But as a display piece, I think the NECA one definitely outshines the Mattel. If you just had a shelf with the NECA figures, this is definitely the one you would want to have on display. All right, you guys, now comparison of the NECA Classic TV series 7-inch Batman along with the NECA Michael Keaton 1989 Batman 7-inch scale figure. Both Toys R Us exclusives, both in the same scale, quite obviously. The Michael Keaton version is definitely one of my favorite figures in my collection, but it's really nice to see these together since they're both very realistic and very film accurate, and I'll definitely keep both of these on display with each other. And then for good measure, let's go ahead and throw in the NECA The Dark Knight 7-inch scale Joker. I also wanted to show you guys the insert that comes in the packaging. This is what sits behind Batman inside the box, which is pretty cool. It's a little cardboard version of the Batcave. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so there you have it. This is the NECA Toys R Us exclusive Batman Classic TV series 7-inch scale Adam West Batman. All in all, you guys, I think this is a very solid looking figure. Function-wise, it's not that great just because the joints are so stiff and those removable hands are just so hard to pull out and put back in. So if you're going to get this figure, I would just tell you to be very cautious with that because you don't want something like this to end up happening because, yeah, that's no bueno. I think they did a very nice job with the aesthetics here. It looks very much like Batman did in the classic TV series, and you got to admit it's very realistic. The downside, though, is that the eyes are just painted a little bit strange, and you can't really even see them, so that could certainly be better. I do really like how they concealed much of the articulation, but it's just really hard to get those joints to bend. They're just way too stiff. So that's very, very unfortunate and definitely detracts a little bit from the overall impact that this figure should have on me. The accessories are nice, but again, it's also annoying how Batman cannot hold the radio all the way up to his mouth and that he can't hold the Batarang in a very dynamic way. I mean, you can kind of pose him with it, but you're not going to get like anything really extreme because of how tight the joints are. So all in all, I would say buy this figure for aesthetic purposes, buy it to display on your shelf and to just leave it there. I mean, you're not going to really want to pick it up and mess around with it that much. And some people will probably say, well, Victoria, why don't you just take a blow dryer, heat up the joints and loosen them? Or why not dip it in some really hot water and loosen the joints? You know what? I could do that, but I shouldn't have to. Yeah, this only costs $20 at the retail level, which is amazing, but it was extremely hard to find and I never found it. So I'm paying a premium on that, about twice that. And for it to be this stiff, I just don't think is really acceptable. I'm not asking for perfection. I don't expect perfection, but I do expect function. And I'm just not getting that here. Even though I love the figure for the way that it looks, I really don't like it as a toy that can be posed and moved around. Alright my friends, I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and if so, please like, subscribe, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and as always, I want to thank you for watching Victoria's Cantina. Until next time my friends, goodbye.